Awo ya you. You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear that power. President Gay, via Yatty, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm a part of my trade there. Well, on it goes away. Alas, I will that Giano, and I will say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. Puis après, mais on va essayer de sauver des niveaux. À moi, ça y faut. Bien, pas pour mon yao. Papa, n'y guitare. Petit, l'oiseau fait son nid. Kaidaka. Bena paya posa gogo mambo panjagu Apo blo akafoi Wa posa nyoka foi Be afonte moi bandi yo pa kle jukiyen Nyonjo si moi Posto kata tuyo kwe atinyon di ongo Emo o Nese tokan Is a coco, where they play. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. What's what you got to your way? I think you're the one. Emo, Nesetoka. Now, with is a coco, where they play. Go on, yeah, can you get? Now, conquering your way. I know sound simply a name. Yeah, I do. Let's do what you just grab it to work on. There you go, are you an owl? Saibo Bodagiano, and I will say you over. I want to your Clamala, I need a boy and yes, I'm going to buy them when we Hey, Imo, am I gay? What I want, I guess me, I'm done, and in the well. Oh, Saibo Dagiano, and I will say you so like a tampo when you never go. Netoni and Layo. Hey, are you? Opo Glega say, oh, yeah, I'm a cocky labor. Kaidaka, when it was to work, I go to let you know halfway. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah. You like do I get more by one name on tele by Potamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Renegation, Bacao Lage, the Buesipo, the BSC, the 10 years ago, you can up one. There was a bob, was a dressy, Mango, Palipo, Dagiano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. To a black guy, do a so say. I just want to lay a bat to an hour from your see you okay. Wait, you, Ivo, Saibo Boba. And they didn't get more from Rock where John B. Bangla. On the Krian, I walk like a bad day, they noir. It was a was. So, the one you're naturally not clever, Sule. Saibo Dagiano, and I will say you over. I'm done it. Where are you? So on my way. I know Russell, David Russell. South Africa, your fault, your way. Thank you for your work, and my one. I'm a pope on your woman. Don't finish it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in where we are coming. Saibo Dagiano, and I will say you over. Aba pepo swelu ninde swelu kwa mungu manje dota siko bala Kabo jo ase pepo swelu muzo bloke say ya re ase baye ino ken monde ye yo pa play yo say mo play ya now ariwo ase o baye amo amora da o Saibo Dagiano, and I will say you I wish a rule of you baye. So, Saibo, that young man now will take you. Mop man down le mel, return your man, don't you? But you know, I say, it's a mayo. That was why you also want to. I'm original, I say.
Oui, il a fait une chanson à Moblé Production, voilà. Et Moblé Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le Guémon, pour les jeunes de l'US et tout. Moblé Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Moblé Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, au grand jamais. Moblé Production, Abia Diaoboa, Amounia Grand, moi et toi Pierre. Moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, à toi Pierre Diavere, Pierre, moye, ah Pierre, Ndato Pierre se prononce, à toi Pierre Diavere, à Bossiao, moye, Pierre, moye. Mosa bosa iko moye Pierre ji mo were mangoye mo a Pierre ji mo were mangoye mo Pierre we ha ji a were Pierre mo moye to Pierre moye Pierre ji a were ba lo poje yo ji a were so no juni embe Amado, let's appeler. Jamone qui bagnonne, Mawadia qui bagnonne, Dia, Plebone na Kanyopo. Sia Boutiena, de Kanywe. Kanyon de Koga, c'est pas du Déa. Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Mogarwa, Oyawesa. Moye, Jiblo, no pigeon boba, Yeruno. Ma boye play Pierre away, Pierre Moye, Moblé Production. Topia Moblé Production. Assez au clano. Yahweh a quel amour le côté. Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Ericona, Pierre Moye, ah Chalicona, Pierre Moye, ah to Pierre Moye, Die na pa yeble, to Pierre die na pa yeble, ah nie Pierre ah Pierre Pierre Moye, Erico Jato Pierre, Mare Bomo Jato Pierre, Erico de Bomo Jato Pierre, Miamo Daka, Yojalico Yopa, Opa la Yede Nani, Blake Kitchen, Chiao, Anade Pro Ajabe Hatia, Nuro Badeke Abudia, Ono Homono Neka Dubleya, Subo Somo Soble So Dagnon. Passeble a Seigneur Nayeta Esa Yedibo Sanere, to Piero Jaweke, to Piero Point Soweke, to Pierre Yubamopa, Kayano Casene Latayamo, Laosiane, to Piero, Gia Baile, Papaco, Giao, to Piero Moye. Ah, nous avons Dive Clon Amoe, you have Moe, Piero. Piero, you are Moye, Piero, Piero Moye, Piero Moye, Gayo Padawe, Nebo Kango, Gayo Padawe, Nebo Kango. Ah, Didieji, ah, Didieji, ah, Mara Didiemo, Ao, Buba Carita Pinito Wake, Asa Omade, Piero Moye, Piero Moye. Gero momoye, ese Sonia Boutier, aseo. Mama Saleye Angela Wene, ye bobo pangla wiye Angela Wene, nama bobo pangla wiye Angela Wene. Angela Dio, manchapa ke yo, daria Dio. Moye Angela momoye, ah mama mo kembla, ya mama kembla de, weye wu. Ah, je sais ma Jackie, je sais, maman je sais ta nez. Handa Nicolas, mais au tia, Manda Nicolas, j'ai ta nez. Nicolas, prête yamo, au jouachier. N'a pas de moyen. Blanc, on blanc, chili, agia, agia. Moyen, car moyen, 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 moyen. Moya, ale, moye, moye.
Good evening, folks. Sinto Labron Pop Radio again. We want to welcome all of you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Let's have fun together. I come out here before you, make a fool out of myself. I love it when I do that. By the way, thank you very much for staying with me. We say thank you very much. Those of you that have this video right now watching, please share with friends, and let them join us. This is a platform, neutrality. You ain't know you'd hear and then know. It's all here. Thank you. Thank you. Safety, safety, folks. We're getting back into the winter season again. It's getting cold. I hope by now that you have taken precaution with respect to your car. I want to talk car. I don't do gun safety because I don't know gun. I know a little bit about car. So if you have a car at this time, hopefully you have winterized your car. What do I mean by winterizing your car? Change your tires, change your oil, change the thermostat if anything is bad on it. Make sure your water pump is functioning properly. Make sure that your antifreeze has already been changed. Make sure that the water for your windshield wiper is already changed. Okay, those are the things that you need immediately as you get ready to get into the winter. Those are very important because, for example, it's snowing. It's going to be happening soon. I hope not. Let it wait a little bit. Let me get back from the East Coast, then it can calm down whenever it wants. Okay, but you're going to have to make sure those things are taken care of because in the East Coast, even here in California, when you go 2 hours up the hill, you got to change tire. Snow up there. So those are the kind of things that you need to pay attention to. Pay attention to your car. One last thing before I move on to my subject matter here again tonight. The issue, okay, safety. Don't drink and drive. Doesn't mix. Don't text and drive. Doesn't mix. Yeah, you sit there, you say, well, no, nothing can happen to you. You don't know. You're not God. Speaking about God, I want to thank God this evening for keeping us all alive again. We say, thank you, Jesus. We appreciate it. I wish I had been there. $1.8 billion richer today. Oh my goodness. You know the first thing I was going to do if I was to win? I will call Nathaniel Crime, call Alfonso So. I say, you take your job. I want to help you out, Joy again. I reach what doing with you, sir. I want to talk to you again, sir. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I bet where the citizens say, oh, why didn't you? Because they want to kick me out anyway. But anyway, no, all for fun. Thank you for joining us. As usual, we're going to be discussing pro-poor agenda again tonight. So stay with us. It's going to be very interesting, very interesting. The pro-poor agenda that I continue to discuss, it is the agenda that I believe Dr. Weir was talking about. Where's my pro-poor agenda? Oh, something too. You forget your pro-poor agenda? They will throw you in jail. But the pro-poor agenda are very serious now. It's a pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development. A 5-year national development plan towards escalated, inclusive, and sustainable development. I can't even read tonight, but I'll do my best. So basically, this agenda here is what you have. It's like a blueprint, okay, where the folks are telling us these are the things this government intend to do with respect to the pro-poor agenda. And I think that I read the definition to you the other day, and I'm continuing to read it. The part that I'm reading, that I'm continuing to read, is called the summary of the whole program. I told you about 560 some more pages. It's a lot. But after this is done, if I'm not interrupted by the call of Liberia, something to come home. If I'm not interrupted by that call, I will continue to read it. But even if I'm interrupted, I will read it from Liberia. I will read it from I don't care for that one. I will read it. So, no, not that I'm going to Liberia. I'm just kidding. But anyway, anywhere, whether I be Australia, whatever I'm going to be, LPR can reach there. I will read it. Let's go on. Let me get a seat so that at least I can read. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, folks. What I'm about to do again tonight is not to degrade, Nor am I here to shift blame. Nor am I here to say who's doing what. That's not my subject matter. There are a lot of information out there. If I want to jump into politics, there's a lot of information that I could talk about tonight. But I don't intend to. My intent here tonight is to explain to you what these people have written down on papers. And if they decided that they're going to implement these blueprint, what they have put down, what they have written down, then perhaps we will have the opportunity to hold them to that. So I'm just reading it. And who knows? Maybe this thing is no longer in effect. Maybe the pro-poor government have changed the pro-poor agenda on me without me knowing. But anyway, who am I? They don't know me anyway. Let's go on. On a very serious note, before I do that, as usual, I will play this video. The video of Dr. Weir walking in the mud during the election. And the reason why I will continue to play this, I want those of you that continue to listen to me or watch me to see. I'm not saying you should accept it as I explain it, but look at it and put yourself in that position. And then you ask, why is he insisting that Liberia is connected by roads? Let's play that video. Samson to Liberian Public Radio.
Let's make sure you do that same information you can hold. That will not hold a stake. No, I don't need show the road, I need my stake. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you.
Okay, that is the video. For me, that captured the whole of the process of Dr. Weir wanting to be president. And so looking at that video, I feel within myself that this is the reason why this young man insists that Liberia must be connected by roads. And he's studying in Monrovia and other places, information reaching us that very shortly he will be going to other places of Liberia to have these things, the similar thing that is happening in Monrovia, to be done in the other areas. So that's a good thing. Hopefully, your own Raku might be able to participate in some of the process. I love it. If that comes to pass, you know, let me be serious for a minute. Those of you that study and know what you know, what would you like for these kinds of study that you have done? What would you like to practice then? For me, my engineering base, I like to practice it into town. To be specific, more way. That way, if I make mistake, who coming over there? No, on a very serious note. Every one of us, whatever you do here, however way you put your mind to things you study, you want those things to be carried out by God. So Anybody that have the opportunity to do so. It doesn't matter whether government, private, it doesn't matter. As long you're able to do things in Liberia, that's what counts. But anyway, let me move on. Pro agenda. Let me continue with the reading process. Just bear with me, folks. It's very interesting, this piece of paper that I have, which my stuff is. Okay. The piece of paper that I have. The last time we were here, we read the pro agenda definition. Okay. And let me just read that definition one more time and I'll move on to the next item. It said the pro agenda is therefore about people, how to strengthen their capacity to thrive, and how to draw all Liberians living at home and abroad into the national development process. That's their definition. Pro agenda. Okay? That's basically, and they have more in-depth definition. This is just a summary, but that's so far, this is what they say it is. Okay, let's go on. National visionary. What clearly emerged from the national consultation on the future of Liberia held in 2012 is that the tendency to bifurcate the Liberia identity into an Americo-Liberian versus indigenous clever level, the innumerous impression of two distinct communities that need to be reconciled for political, social, and economic development to take hold. Okay, they say their vision. And then again, this is what they continue to do to us. They continue to give us definition. And I like these people. To be honest with you. I really, really do respect them and like them because they continue to identify the problem. And for me, as an engineer, the first thing you do when you have an issue, first is you find out what the problem is. What kind of, I don't want to say, why does this thing keep coming up? Okay, the first thing you need to do is to identify the problem. And then you say, okay, how do I approach it? Because you want to solve problem. That's what engineering is about. You want to solve problem. Okay, now that I have identified the problem, what do I do? How do I solve this problem? And then you start from there. And so I like the approach these people are taking. Let's go on. So basically, they're telling us that one of the issues they have is the Americo-Liberian and the indigenous divide that continue to exist. That continue to, exist. And in other words, the people know that these things are still there. Even though when we talk every day, we say, oh, there's no Congo, no crime, country business, everything they see. But they are. And these people recognize that. How do we bring these two groups together? Because they also know we're all in this boat together. You can't move Liberia forward at this stage without the involvement of the Americo-Liberians. You cannot move Liberia forward at this stage without the involvement of the indigenous either. So what is it? We're all in this boat together. We have to work together, and we must work together. Other than that, we're going nowhere. Just go around the circle. That's all. And they recognize that. Okay. So let me read it. Okay. But it is evident that the Liberian identity, I told you about identity, the identity issue yesterday, they mentioned that we do not have a common identity that will bind us together. And that's exactly what they're getting ready to talk about here, I think. Okay, let me read that again. But it is evident that the Liberian identity is the function of the value of multiple largely participable traditional society. I gave you guys a story about the Crown people in Bapa, traditional society. Every one of us, we have our own identity. But it seemed to me, and from what these people are saying, we do not have a national identity. Which way do we go? Which way do we go that we're all going to be happy? Do you go back to Mwepliwe in total and say, look, my man, the government say, who government? You government to tell people not to marry 5, 6 wives? Or the people from Mwepliwe total, they come to Monterey and say, my man, you're supposed to marry 4. Yeah, I brought you some more women again. Who are you to bring me women when I'm satisfied with one? You see what I'm talking about? So those are the kinds of things that we all have to get into. This your stuff is not helping. We got to take out our clothes, roll up our no, don't take your clothes off, but roll your sleeves off and pick the shovel up and get to work. Here's another thing, my opinion. The government can come out and put in all of the good roads, connect Liberia all over. But as long we do not have a national identity to bind us together, we will always have these little issues. Because you're coming from one section going to another. You're coming out of a culture, different culture, going to a different culture. How then do you behave in that culture? Do the people who culture you're going to immerse yourself in, do they expect you to discard your own culture that have brought you up to this point and immediately pick up the other people's culture? Is that how it's going to be? If we have a issue. Let's read on. Okay. So, again, all of these cleavages, they call them cleavages. You know what cleavages is, don't you? Shut up. Cleavage is my fault. All these cleavages must be addressed for Liberia to go forward successfully. I just told you that. They call them cleavages, but I call them identity issues. Okay, they bounce up and down, they're here and there. Okay. Significant of the recent transition in national leadership. They're going to tell us that what happened recently, which Sam Sinto, thank you, Jesus. I was at this Attorney Tutman station. Did I say Attorney Tutman? No, not Attorney Tutman. There's SKD stadium. I was there. Sam Sinto was there. Okay, they're getting ready. The election of H.E. George Manawia as the 24th president of the Republic of Liberia and H.E. Julia Howard Taylor as the first female vice president present a unique opportunity to begin. Let's see what he said. To begin a transformation. I agree with that. Totally agree with it. Because this is what I'm saying. We, Liberians, must take this opportunity and work together and make good of what God has given us. Okay? Let's read on. It was the first peaceful and democratic transition of power in 73 years. I agree with that as well. Because there's no longer Samson to as a young man, baby, or more running around the total courthouse voting 15, 16 times. Samson to voter. Samson Chiaro voter. Samson Bayon voter. If whatever name you put down, they let you vote. They don't care how old you are. It's not a democracy. Now we're in it. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. It was the first generational change in national leadership through popular vote since the introduction of universal suffrage in 1951 and the launch of the National Unification and Integration Policy in 1960. Okay, let's go on. This opened a window of opportunity to build a new national identity. They keep making reference to that identity I keep telling you about. The identity that I'm talking about is not the identity to cause people. That's not a correct identity. That's not going to be your national identity to cause people. The identity they're talking about is not identity to go and steal people's stuff, things that don't belong to you. That's not national identity. The identity they're talking about is not an identity where you can go and just say, you know who I am, you're throw that man in jail. That's not national identity. And they're telling us, the pro-poor agenda, telling us that we have to come together and found this unique position that will be acceptable to all of us as a national identity. Let me read on. A very interesting reading. Okay. Let me read this again. This opened a window of opportunity to build a new national identity based on the principle of inclusion. Oh my goodness! I love these people, my people. Why is it that all of the information ministers that they don't go on Facebook and read these things to us and make it sweet so that Liberian will know that people are the governing body are people just like us. They care for us. But we don't see that. Maybe you're there. I have not seen it. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. If you go to LU campus and put up a forum where each individual will stand up from different whatever political party they have on campus, I don't know. But each of them, you put them together and say, you cannot read this together with a clear understanding. And let me read that part again. And you tell me if you're an LU student and this kind, you like reading, you like the book business, that way you are LU, and this kind of information get to you. What would be your feeling? Let me read that again. Okay, let me read that again. This opened a window of opportunity to build a new national identity based on the principle of inclusion, equality in the distribution of revenue generated from Liberian national resources, and to the transition to a right-based approach to national development. How then do you expect people to jump off of the ship and start swimming for themselves if the pro-poor agenda is there to say this is what we have? In this boat we're in, if we rock the boat can capsize. And those that cannot swim, you will die. But in this boat, these are the material that you use to energize you to continue to row this boat to the future. These are the material that you will use to fuel your ambitions to be who you want to be in this boat, the Republic of Liberia, where everybody are welcome to do the best you can. Why can't we preach that? This is their stuff they wrote. I didn't write it. Maybe they changed it now. But from what the information that I got, I'm reading to you. Pro-poor agenda. Why is this now being a national discussion? Every day you go on front page. Different stuff. Who did what 10, 15 years ago. Every day you go on front page or any other news magazine. You don't read about the national agenda. National agenda is supposed to be the blueprint. Put it together. Put it in the people's mind. So they will know that you're capable. Let me read on. Folks, these are kinds of stuff that bothers me sometimes. Because we have this wonderful document that is written by Liberians. They didn't go hire people from Europe to come and write this. I know some of these people that wrote this thing. Very intelligent people. And some of them are not even seditious either. So this thing, the knowledge that went into this, that went into the production of this pro-poor agenda is widespread. So don't tell me that sedition put this together. I will not accept it because I know what it is. I know who put it together. I know those, they got the names here. I'm not going to read the name, but they have the names. And if you read the name, you will find out that they are not all sedition. Maybe they are now. I don't know. Okay, so let's read on. Okay. So they're telling us this is the opportunity to find that national identity, and the national identity on the principle, based on the principle of inclusion, equality, okay, distribution of revenue, gathering from national resources of Liberia to all Liberians, and not just fill something to a bank and then you say you got something going. Those are the kinds of stuff that these people have in this national agenda. It's a national, it's not sedition agenda, it's a national agenda. Even though it is going to be governed by CDC and its people, because those are the people that are elected. If this thing is implemented effectively, equally across the board, we're all going to benefit, whether you sedition or not. So the point that I'm making here, we're in this boat together. This blueprint is telling us that we're in this boat together. You can't fight your way out of this boat. You have to cooperate with each other. If not, this boat is going nowhere. We're in a calm water right now. What will happen if the winds start blowing? The wave of the ocean start taking up. And one person paddling this way, the other person paddling that way. We don't even know which way this boat is going to go. What are we doing, Liberians? Why? Why? We have already selected the captain for this boat. How many of you want to be this one captain? Wait for your time. What is part of it you don't understand? We selected a captain to be the commander for this boat. Let him give us the order. Let's continue to roll. If you're tired rolling, get out. Let next man get in and continue to roll. We have a destination. We want to get to certain position. But people rolling. Then you're breaking people paddle. People rolling. In a small boat. Then you put in gasoline here so fire will start. For what? For what? You think because you're in the ocean so you can just get water and put fire on? It don't happen like that. We have selected a captain. Let the captain steer the boat. If for some reason he's not steering completely the way the nation wants, there will come time where he will come back to us as Liberian and say, Liberian, how am I steering this boat? No, Mr. Captain, you're not steering this boat correctly. We'll get somebody else. Because we don't want the boat to go down the drain. That's how you do this thing. You don't start rejecting the captain order while he's in the middle of trying to steer the boat. How will you get anywhere? Take this thing to your own house, your own family. Okay? You're going places. Okay? Okay, my battery is about to die. That's fine. It's gonna go. I can see myself still. Okay, but anyway, the point here is this. Think about it. Your family of the house, whether you're a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. But you are the head of this house, and you're trying for your family to get to a certain position. But somehow, every time you try to come up with a decision that will be helpful to everybody, somebody is there to cut you off. That's not how this boat gonna go. And the good thing is, the proper agenda is a blueprint. Yeah, you might, those of you that are not sedition, I'm not sedition either, but those of you that are not sedition that don't want to do, that have anything to do with CDC, you might not even want to read this. But guess what? If you don't pick up this to read, you're hurting yourself. Because you will not understand why these people do what they do. And then the fact that you're not able to understand and read this blueprint when they start doing something else that according to the blueprint, where do people come from? What kind of idea? What kind of business? Because you refuse to stay in this boat. God forbid in this boat of the pro-poor agenda, if the wind start blowing and shaking this boat, is that when we're going to start cooperating with each other? We're in a race if you don't know that. We're in a race if you don't know that. We got Sierra Leone. We got Guinea. We got Africos. We're in a race if you don't know that. We will always, as Liberian, the only time you do better when you get out of Liberia, you go outside of the country. Or you stay in Liberia and then, God forbid, something happened to you. Or if nothing happened to you, you get into government, you start taking this and then you get rich. Is that how we want to do it? In the meantime, my brothers and sisters in Toll Town cannot move when it's raining because they don't have anybody to help them. We're in this boat together. Even people in Toll Town are also in this boat together. The only way we're going to get this thing going is work together as a group. Nothing else. Go up and count down. Now one person can take this ship from here to wherever we want to go. Let me read the last paragraph and I'll go on to the other subject matter. Samson told LeBron Public Reader, I'm on again this evening. Folks, I will be opening the line very shortly, but I'm just telling you as it is. I'm not here to say who's did what and what you did. And I said we as Liberians, we have to accept the fact that we have selected a captain to captain this boat. The person is wearing the captain band, handband, so he's recognized as captain. Let's see the decision. Let's follow. If the decision is not the way we want, every time after 6 years, what do they come? They come back to us. Say, I enjoy their captainship. I want to be captain for the ship for a while. Can you guys give me another 6 years? That's when we start bringing up issues. And say, how can you want to? Why would you want to captain this ship again? Look at this. We went through the icebergs the other day. We almost went down. Honor your leadership. Honor your leadership. We couldn't even have water from this in this ship for people to drink. Honor your leadership. Honor your leadership. Things are going the way they're not supposed to be because they have come to us. And it is a time for us to voice ourselves. But it ain't time yet for them for us to voice ourselves. We start cussing already. We start cussing. You this, you did, you that, did this. All of the advocacy. People that were not advocating for years and years, they're all advocates now. I advocate for this. Good. Educate yourself. Good. Stay in a boat and advocate in this boat. Don't go outside in the Sierra Leone boat and then you advocate against Liberian boat. What's wrong with you? You need a boat going somewhere. Where you think a boat going? You think you're going to turn around, go back to Montreal? No, we're heading ahead. Stay with us. Samson told Liberian Public. Let me read this. Let me continue and then I'll be done with this and then go on. I have another interesting piece of paper that I'm going to be reading here tonight. This other piece that I'm going to be reading, it is the tools that those who are not in favor of this boat are using to put holes in this boat. And to patch these holes is going to require all of us, and I'll read that. But let me finish this agenda stuff here. So it is also open it also opened the opportunity to unite. Oh my goodness. I even read it. That is the same thing I've been saying, yo. I even finished reading it. You know. It also opened the opportunity to unite Liberia's desire, faith, and nation around a national identity that reflect Liberia's geographic position and relation with the rest of the African region. I don't know. If we don't have a national identity, how then do you present yourself to the rest of the African continent? You go say something, other people coming and say, oh, they may. are getting ready to throw a bomb. I will not call me, but this story that I'm getting ready to tell you, you will know who it is, and you can write whatever you want. I'm block cool. Nothing fakes me. Say, do, write whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Back in 2000, I believe, or 2009 or 2010, we have our own community organization here. And the leadership of that organization decided to go to Liberia to visit the government Republic of Liberia and bring up some issues. While they were on their way, when they got to Monrovia, there was a letter that came from here, from another uh, so-called another government or another head of the community, wrote the president and said that the people that are coming over there, they're not a real government. I am. And this is the kind of thing we do all over. And it's not just for that community. We do it. We do it. Oh, the president come here. I'm going to block him. I would say so many things that people will not even look at him. You think it's going to affect him alone? If the man comes here and he's lucky to take money back home, hopefully, and I say hopefully because I'm being very careful here, hopefully the money will then go back into the community. The same community that you taking your 5 cents, 20 cents to send back home, that community will be benefited from will benefit from the whatever information or money they're gonna get here. Let's go on. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Before I do that, before I go on to the next program, let me do this as usual. But why? Okay, this is Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I'm on it tonight. Let's have fun. Okay, folks, Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I'm back. Thank you. Okay, let's go on to another subject matter here. Okay. This is another subject matter. If you missed this tonight, you're missing a lot. Anyway, let's go on. Let's go on. Earlier I was talking about how we're in this boat together, and this is something that I'm getting ready to tell you now. There are some people in this boat that don't want us to go anywhere. However, they have decided, instead of making whole for everybody to accuse them and say you're doing this, you're doing that, they're doing it underground so people will not see. The paper I'm about ready to read again from the State Department. From the State Department. Let's read. Okay. And this is called Liberia 2017 Human Rights Report. Executive summary, of course. Okay. It has here corruption and lack of transparency in government. This is 2017 they're talking about. The law called for integrity in government services and enumerate numerous offenses related to corrupt acts by officials, including making false statements, tampering with public records, obstruction of justice, bribery, intimidation, and abuse of office. The laws does not provide explicit criminal penalty for corruption by government officials. Although criminal penalty exists for economic sabotage, the government did not implement the law sabotage, abuse of office, bribery, obstruction of justice, and other corrupt related acts. The government did not implement the law effectively, and officials often engage in corrupt practices with impunity. 2017, past government. This is what this stuff is about. Remember now, Dr. Weah came in. He's not 1 year yet, but this is 2017 report. Okay. Corruption persists throughout the government, and the World Bank most recent worldwide governing indication 20. Okay. Reflect the corruption that corruption was a serious problem. There were numerous reports of government corruption during the year 2017. Corruption. Now they gave the State Department. This is not. I'm done with pro agenda right now. This is not something that is written by Liberian. This is State Department. Okay. Corruption. The low pay for civil servants, minimum job training, and little judicial accountability exacerbate official corruption and contributed to a culture of impunity in Liberia. We're in this boat together, and there are those who want to circumvent the process by going through the means of corrupt behavior. Let's read on. The government dismissed or in some instances suspended officials for alleged corruption and recommended others for prosecution. The government generally failed to charge high-ranking officials with corruption and tended to recommend prosecution only against low-level civil servants. State Department. This is not something to State Department. The government of the past administration, according to State Department, when there's a corruption case, serious one, they will take it and suspend those lower ranking, and the people with high ranking, they don't do anything. Let me go on. An audit by the Internal Audit Agency implicated government officials in the misuse of funds from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning's private sector development initiative, which was intended to provide small business loans. The Internal Audit Agency forwarded its audit result to the Office of the President in June. And in August, some individuals reportedly were asked privately to make restitution privately. Privately. They were asked privately to make restitution. They didn't go after them. The government didn't go after the individual. They asked them to pay back. Okay, privately. Let me put my stuff back on. Okay, they asked them privately to pay. Okay, how can you even do that? People, they give you a report. Then you say, okay, certain people, I will ask them to pay. But what does the State Department say about that? As of November, detail regarding whether such payment has been made or who made them had not been made public, and no further action has been taken. That's corruption. The government must be sincere and distribute justice across the board. Because if you don't do that, you have these kinds of stuff. People don't respect the rule because they think they're special. People don't respect the rule because they think they can get away with a lot of stuff. And there's nothing you can do because you have not shown in the past that you're serious. This is State Department record. This is not something from Samson to or Propo agenda. State Department record, 2017. You go Google it, you will find it. Now you tell me, you Ford company, or Microsoft, or General Electric, and you want to do some kind of business over there in Liberia. Doesn't have to be technical by nature. Where you have people just making phone call on behalf of company, or even AT&T, or even Spring. Those of you that have cell phone, have you called lately and you hear people talking from India and you hear other people talking from Malaysia? Why can't that kinds of stuff happen in Liberia? Because of these kinds of things. Before they decide to say where they want to take their business, they go to State Department and read these things. They want to do business with you. But the corruption continues to stay in the way. Those who are responsible for corrupt behavior are digging the hole in the boat. Getting this boat to leak. And Sansinto and the rest of the people taking bucket and wasting water out so that we can continue to stay afloat. Corrupt behavior is taking us down. It's not just going to take them down, it's going to take everybody down. And these are the kinds of stuff that I hope that this present government will try to focus on these things. Get this report and let the president have somebody to read it in its entirety. Read it to the president. What exactly these people are talking about. So you can fix these things. Because you can fix them. They are not isolated issues. The corrupt behavior is being done by Liberians. You don't go hire somebody from Nigeria to come practice corruption in Liberia. These are Liberians. But the corruption, that behavior is hurting all of us. Go to Monrovia and see some of the cars some of these people ride. And then the next door, when you ring, the person can't even walk. When they're walking, they take their shoes off because they got to walk in the mud or in the water. In Liberia. And the thing about it is this. The situation that continues to exist is going to hurt all of us, as I stated. And I will continue to say that. Okay, because if we Liberia, every time I put this stuff down, if we Liberia do not recognize these things and try to fix them, We're going to hurt ourselves, and we're going to hurt our family. It doesn't matter whether you stay here or not. And you think, wow, I'm too far away from those kind of things. They're not going to affect me. If anything, I will work hard and send money to my family, my sister, my brother, and stuff. They will be okay. That's fine. That's fine. And I told you the other day, we Liberian, we're not going to, most of us not going to get rich. I bet you the money yesterday, the 1.8 something billion dollars. If any of you have won it, the first thing you will do is your whole town, the place you were born, if you're from the countryside, that town, everybody in that town will get Zine house. Because that's who we are. And since we're not able to get these kinds of money by sheer luck, the little mineral resources we have over there, we have to work with this government and make sure these things are taken care of. You cannot continue to have the government accuse the government of certain things that some of us don't even have proof of. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me state it again. It is your right to hold this government feet to the fire, but it must be done with responsible behavior. So at least the government will pay attention to your complaint. But you're complaining. And the person you carrying the complaint to, first thing you start cursing the person. The person said, you coming to complain to me, then you cursing me. How much more about the person you coming to bring complaint about? You're not serious. These are the kinds of stuff that hurt us. And we have leaders, people that we elect, that's supposed to be reading these things. The legislatures, they're supposed to have a committee that is truly responsible to say, okay, let's see what the American government have written about us this year. And you take that to the committee and let the committee discuss. What exactly do we need in this country? What do we need to do to patch this hole in this boat? But none of us doing it. Nobody. The State Department writes it and they put it up. Why you think the State Department, they just got money to waste? Or they just got for nothing paper? They pay people to write these things. These things are written for a reason. For businesses. If you want, instead of you going to the State Department and say, come brief me about Liberia, you go and do research and find out the report on Liberia by State Department. Because first of all, State Department hopefully will be neutral in casting the blame. This is the State Department of Barack Obama, the president that loved the former president of Liberia. But because of their love for the woman, they're not going to sugarcoat nothing. They will say exactly what they saw. And how do you attack this? You don't go by the speaker telling the whole world, the people saying FBI will not talk to them. The people say $16 million got missing. $16 billion got missing. They want to find out how. Then you say, when you come here, will not talk to you. Then who you will talk to? You will investigate yourself? Liberians themselves say they don't trust you to investigate. And then you say, when you come here, we'll not talk to you. These are the reason. These are the reason why we will continue to remain like that. The company that, let me tell you guys this again this evening. Those who want to do business with you in Liberia, most of them, even the big company, they're not doing it because they're in love with you. They want money. They know very well that the country is corrupt. But yesterday they had to do business. In the process, they get exactly what they want. You think they're in there to put money in there free? No. They've already calculated into their profit margin the corrupt behavior. How much it's going to cost them in corruption for them to operate in Liberia. Not many companies are willing to do that. These are the people that I'm talking about that continue to put hole in this boat that we're all in it together. And we can pluck it. It is our boat. It is our boat. You can't go borrow another boat. In other words, you were born Liberian, you will die Liberian. You can't go to other places and say, no, I want born from Total again. Take me somewhere else. Let me go born somewhere else. It's not happening. Sansinto, Total, Basson District, Grand Gina County, Republic of Liberia. That's it. It's on your birth certificate. What are you going to do? You have to work together. There's nothing else you're going to do. It's serious. Once again, we have elected a captain for this boat. Let's give this captain the opportunity to lead us. Let us all find means that this boat continue to stay afloat. The water in the boat is nothing there. No water there right now. Charles Taylor and his group brought water in that boat. And the international community said, we swear to God, the boat is not going to go down. ECOWA community, they say, we swear to God, the boat is not going to go down. And they kept the boat afloat. They dumped all the water out of the boat. We're in it again. The boat is dry again. But all of the moisture in the boat, we're trying to dry them out. So the boat will be a livable boat. So you'd be able to be comfortable in this boat. But every time, if you don't do this, we will do this. Every day we threaten each other. You don't do this, I will do this. Liberian men, when they're ready to slap their wrist. They think, yeah, who are we? Where are we going? Folks, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Who are we? What kinds of country do we want? Do we want people to come in, get comfortable, and leave? In the meantime, the crowd continue to stay around, nothing doing. Go up in the interior and see the farm the people are making. You'll be lucky if you can get 2-3 bags of rice out of each farm. And they're supposed to feed people in Liberia. And there's no encouragement coming from Monrovia. Why Monrovia is so packed with people? What do you think? You think nobody want to stay in Grand Gina County? You want to tell me the Crown people in Monrovia, they love Monrovia so much that some of them are suffering and they can't go home. They don't want to go home. But what is there at home for them? You want them to go home. That's right. And they're strong. Young men, young women. They can go home and work and make farm. But if they want to sell, where do they sell? No roads. Where is the real place they can go and sell? Where's the encouragement from us as Liberia to encourage each other? Then when we're ready, we leave from Liberia, we'll go to America. We leave from Liberia, go to Norway, go to Europe. Then we say we enjoy. Now other people country, you're making their country beautiful. Because you're not going to go to Europe or come to America and lay down in the house all day. No, you will find work. And when you work, you pay taxes. And they use that taxes to beautify their place. What you think the people? You think the people stupid? You come here as a young man and you work until you get old. But when you go to Liberia, you got nothing to give anymore. And these are the kinds of conversation Liberia need to have among ourselves. How do we, the proper agenda mentioned that we need to incorporate Liberian living abroad and at home. Why is it up to this time they have not even picked up this dual citizenship bill? Where is it now? I don't know. Maybe they're working on it. But every day you go read newspaper, the other thing happened, the other one happened. The government did this, the government did that. Is that what we're going to do for the next 6 years? Folks, I'm not despair. Folks, I'm not discouraged. Folks, we are Liberians. When I was growing up in Town, and there we go again, you used to go from Town to go to Tapatown to go play football. So we had it one song. Some day good, some day bad. Some day good, some day bad. Some day good, some day bad. Some day, that's life. That's life. But that will not stop you. Even in the bad times, you still prepare yourself so that you will enjoy when times are good. It's good time now, but we have to work together to make it better. Why is it? Yes, Liberia. Why is it the executive mansion is not being utilized since the fire? Are you kidding me? We got electrical engineer wasting all Liberian electrical engineer wasting all over America here. Are you kidding me? You want to tell me they can't electrify that building? We got Liberian structure engineer wasting all over America, all over the world. You want to tell me they can't work on that building? What's wrong with us? So what happens if the Chinese get vexed tomorrow and say we're leaving? Then what? Then what? Then we're stuck. That's it. Train your people. Train the young people. I'm going to say one thing here also. This is Samson to Liberian Pop Radio. Every time, either be on LU camper or be on CDC camper, when big shot coming, the people sinking. The young people sinking. That all they're going to be doing? The voice they're using to sing. Don't you think that voice can go on a telephone and start making telemarketing somewhere for some other company all over the world that they can pay these people $5-10 an hour in Liberia? When they're ready, they sing. They're singing. That's good. We like for them to sing. No trouble. That's good. But what is the next step for them? What is your life gonna be there? Are you guys are you even asking questions? What will happen to these young people 4 or 5 years from now? They will continue to be sinking. They're gonna get older. What is their expectation? What are they gonna get out of this government? What are they gonna get out of the Liberian society? What? Oh, they're part because they're young people, so their job is to sing. Is that what we're going to be doing to our brothers and sisters? All of us should be having pain in our stomach. You leave from here, you go to Monrovia. Go drive the street of Monrovia. Young people. When I was little, I used to be in the same street, the same thing they were doing. The only thing I never did was to sell somewhere. I used to wash car. Nothing have changed. People, I know people that I knew then used to sell books on Benson Street. But by then, you know who were blaming at that time? Tui Party. Tui Party is no longer there. Most of the people that are leading us now, they Mwe, Talo, Babuya, Bavo, Dalet. And we can't go back to help our brothers and sisters. All that noise we've been making all these years. They conquer people this, they conquer people that. And here we are. We got Dalet, Crown Dalet, Gil Dalet, Mana Dalet, any kind of Dalet you can think about, they're all in position. And we have our brothers and sisters are still suffering when it rains, they can't move. When will we even get to that point that we will be able to do things for ourselves? Okay. Sam Sinto, that's the question for the night. When? But I tell you what, one of the good things that continue to happen, after a while, you get people, you get leadership that sometimes will say, you know what? I've been sitting on the fence line for a long time. I will get in. This is just too much. I'm going to get involved. Okay? That's the only way. I'm going to go ahead and take a phone call. I'm going to put a number down. And then let's have a conversation. If you give me a call, that's fine. If not, no big deal. But these are very peaceful time for all of us. Like I said, I'm not despaired. I'm not discouraged. Because I know we will find our way. We went through war. And here we are. And people are writing about development now. Here we are. Those days, were you even thinking about writing development? No, you were thinking about how to retrieve a body down the street. Where to bury the body down the street. Now, we don't have that. Now, we're doing things that any other developing country would do. Talking about development. So, we're moving forward. There are those who are saying it's too slow. And there are those who are saying, well, if it's slow, wait for your time. Then what is the compromising position? Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Folks, let's get on with the program this evening. Let me go ahead and put the phone number up, and then you can give me a call. But one of the things I want to advise all of us is, when you call and if somebody's on the line and the phone, it's not going through, just wait your turn and then call me back, and we will recognize your number and call you. But this is something that, we have to, we're Liberians though. Don't call me and blame a specific group, because that's not gonna work. Because I'm not in that place of blaming people. I want solution. What can we do? What is it now that we need to do? Let us don't blame people. Let's find out what we can do to move this goalpost, to move this ball forward. This boat must continue to move. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Let me go ahead and put the number up so that. But before I do that, as usual, let's play this music.
That is some you aware. Kaido wea eyobe sabatia na yona tema sele awea yobe sabatia na yona imani apongo.
Okay, give me a call. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Give me a call. There's a number over there. If I can get it together here. Maybe I need to turn my phone here. Okay, give me a call. 916-533-2048. Okay, let's see what you have. What kinds of comment going to be coming your my way? I'm ready. Yes, the number there, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. And once again, let me just say this here quickly. I'm not here to say this person is at fault or that person is at fault, because we've been blaming people for a very long time. We even kill people because we blame them and nothing good has come out. So let's stop the blaming business. Let's find solution, because no solution has been found yet. I don't see anything. Look at Monrovia. Look at Monrovia. Look at red light. Is that a solution? I don't think so. Give me a call. 916-533-2048. Okay. Okay. While I'm waiting, let's continue. Let's continue. So again, the pro-poor agenda. Let me just talk a little bit about that. The pro-poor agenda. I'm giving you the definition and everything. What I'm going to be doing, like I said, I pray, but not pray, but I hope that I don't get disturbed to say Liberia phone call. If that happens, we're gonna go. Not to work for government, or don't get me wrong. They got private company over there that perhaps I can do business with as well. So, but if anybody call me to say, "Oh, we got something here, and there, can you help?" I don't mind. I'll go do it. But in the meantime, this pro-poor agenda, I will continue to talk about it. I will continue to talk about it, because the pro-poor agenda, the way I see things, is that it is there. The pro-poor agenda is there to help us. It's like a blueprint. If we follow it correctly, we will be fine. There's no question about it. Okay? So I'm just saying this tonight again, that the pro-poor agenda is something that we have to follow, just like the code of conduct. However, unlike the code of conduct, we cannot do the code of conduct and then wow. Okay, folks, I will bring the show to an abrupt end here. I just got a bad information here, so I'll say thank you very much for tuning in to LIBERIA Public Radio. We will not take call. We'll just completely say good night to all of you. For some reason, I just turned my page, and here is the information. Wow. Wow. God is in control. Okay, folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. We will say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. We say thank you very much for tuning in. But sometimes these things happen in the middle of a show. You get bad news. You got to say good night. That's okay. We'll be back by Friday. Please stay with us. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Good night, folks.